All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. Now I'm your host, Tom Danger. Last week we spoke about when you fall down, you got to get up. No matter how many times you make a mistake, no matter how many times it may feel like you want to give up, when you fall down, you got to give up. So this week we're going to talk about putting things into action and how we go about putting things into action. And one of the ways that I found it effective is to write things down. You know, I have a book. I have this book here. And this is just some of the ideas for subjects and guests to interview for the podcast. And the goal is to have at least 52 episodes. That's one episode a week. I wrote it down. It's concrete. It's solid. Now, it's easy just to talk about something, but it's another thing to put it into action. A lot of people just talk. A lot of people talk to talk because it sounds good. You want to front for social media. You want to front for everybody else. So you talk to talk. But do you put it in action? How do you follow through on that action? And for some reason, I'm getting excited as I talk about it because I know I'm too, at one point in my life, I was guilty of just talking to talk. Yeah, I want to achieve this. I want to do that. I want to do this. But what did I really do to put things into effect? Write it down. You know, I read one time, if there are some top goals that you wish to attain, write it down on a piece of paper, fold it up, keep it in your wallet. I've read other places where you need to write it down and put it in various places where you can see it throughout the day. When you wake up in the morning, it's on your nightstand. When you go in the bathroom to brush your teeth, you have it posted beside your mirror. When you go to work, you have it written down somewhere on your desk. It's actually manifesting itself into existence because now you're making it real. When you talk about it, talking is only half of it. But when you want to bring it into existence, you write it down. It's solid, it's concrete. It's sort of a commitment to it. Now, you can also just write things down and leave it there. But I'm also a firm believer in giving yourself a timeline. How soon do you want to achieve this? How long is it going to take you? Because now you're beginning with the end in mind and you're working backwards. So what steps do I need to take to achieve that? I remember my dad years ago, he would get cars like every year. No money down. Don't ask me how. I guess his credit is really good, I guess. And I would always say to myself, like, man, one day I would want to do that. So I remember printing out a picture of a particular car that I wanted. And I posted it next to my desk. For about 6 months, I would look at that car every day. Every day, every day, every day. And then I started to do some research on it online to find out more about it, how much it costs, so forth and so on. Needless to say, over time, I managed to get that car, no money down. It was one of the cars that I've always wanted, and I got it. And it was that simple. There's been times when I wanted to reach a particular weight or be healthier. I would write down that weight, and every week I get on the scale, see if I'm tipping high or low. Write it down. I knew one time I wasn't eating as healthy as what I should, so I actually started a log of the food that I was eating. I would write it down, keep track of it. When I see I was going off track and the calories was looking all crazy and my fat intake was too high, I cut it back, bring it back on track. And also, being a parent, it's very important for your kids too, for them to write things down. We throw a lot of things at our kids, and it's a lot of distractions. We live in a world now where, you can get so easily distracted by your cell phone alone that you keep with you 24/7. Sometimes you got to turn it off, set it aside, and focus on what you need to focus on and what's important. So I always invite you, what is 3 things that you want to achieve before the year is out? I want you to share it in the comments below, because at the same time, you're writing it down and you're putting yourself, you're making a commitment to yourself. And not only that, now I'll see what you've committed to, and I'll check in. I don't mind. Hey, how's it going? I got a good friend of mine. Shout out to Christ James, and I'll probably have him on the podcast as a guest soon, where he and I were talking about credit scores and how we could improve our credit. And he's pretty much like a guru in improving your credit. So, I spoke to him some time ago, and I said, look, I want to hit this number. Here's where I'm at right now. He was like, okay, every few months, check in with me. And lo and behold, over time, the score keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up. All right? So write it down. Speak it into existence. Write it down to put it into action. And until next week, I'm your host, Tom Danger. You've been listening to Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.